My investigation began when I received a fax.
Yahtzee.
Is this Silas Bodnik?
Throw it away. It was a mistake.
How far away is Push, Nevada?
What are you looking for in this town, Jim?
All files on Watermark and the Versailles Casino are closed. I think there's something big happening here.
I don't know, Jim. Doesn't sound like a big deal to me.
You remedy this situation now yourself. Now the problem, Mr. Bodnik, is that IRS investigator.
What about the money?
The money. It's in the safe in my house.
I'll see you in court, Mr. Bodnik.
No!
I witnessed a murder yesterday.
Did himself in last night. Suicide.
Oh, I'm afraid not. Are you completely disregarding my account of what happened?
Money's gone. And that Bible? It's not here either.
Where did you hide the money, Caleb?
Demon Head Flats.
And how big is Demon Head Flats?
Approximately 9 square miles, sir.
I'm here to make damn sure somebody else shows up to take care of this here suicide.
You wouldn't know anyone in town with a serpent tattoo on their arm, would you?
Come in, you do what I want. Maybe later we talk. Pain is a miracle growing life. This is my guy.
You ever do any serpents?
Did a lawyer once. Bite this. It helps.
No, I mean, any serpent tattoos, you know, on people? Did you ever draw a tattoo like that on a man?
Yeah.
Can you tell me his name?
Don't answer questions while I work.
You know, this belt tastes funny.
Yeah, it's laced with peyote.
What?
Don't. You're a real chatty Cathy, and I don't like it. What's this place look like, a library?
No.
That's right, it doesn't. But you still can't talk in here. You want to ask questions, we could talk later. Settle down. Doesn't kill you, makes you stronger.
Be careful, son. That's plenty hot. Don't get too close to the flame. Fearless Jim. Should have known. You're a brave boy, son. We proof rocks have always been able to handle the heat. We proof rocks have always been able to handle the heat.
This heat could kill a man in 4 hours. This heat could kill a man in 4 hours.
What would you like me to do?
Go home.
Go!
What would you like me to do?
Go home. Go home, Judy. Because I want you to shipwreck, that's why.
But it's dangerous in Demon Head Flats, you know?
A man with a serpent tattoo.
Get the hell out of Push, Jim Proof-Rock.
Can you tell me his name?
Man you seek, his name is Oswald Wilkes, and his soul is as twisted as the serpent on his arm.
snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts which drown men into destruction and perdition.
Shadrach picking up cans. A destitute simpleton. Inconsequential.
What do you say we grab some Coronas?
Knock, and it shall be opened to you. For everyone that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be opened.
Oswald Wilkes, W-I-L-K-E-S. Pull up his 1040s for the past 5 years and check with the Department of Justice for any criminal history as well.
Okay.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, do the same for Silas Bodnick. And Mary, forget it, I don't have a full name.
Are you still not coming back here? Your inbox is filling up.
Not today. I'm at Silas Bodnick's funeral.
Okay. You may want to call Mr. Glassman.
I will. I know he's irritated, but he would understand if he were here, Grace. Something's happening here.
Okay. Your ex-wife called this morning.
She did?
Yes, she did.
What does she want?
The key to your house. Do you want me to give it to her?
How does she sound?
Sober.
Okay, I'll have to get back to you on that, Grace. Thank you. Goodbye.
Life is a long, steep road with unmarked exits, honey bun. Old Silas just found one that he liked and decided to pull off there.
No, it's not just that, don't you see? Something's not right.
Excuse me. Here. Please take this.
It's so kind. Thank you. I'm gonna follow you just Thank you so very much. Mr. Prufrock, will you be coming to the burial?
When is it?
Looks like tomorrow now. Seems they're having a little trouble getting Caleb Moore to burn.
Boys have been too busy to dig old Silas's grave.
Damn. That boy is cold.
Good morning.
You wouldn't happen to have another handkerchief, would you?
I didn't know you and Silas were close.
It's a small town. One gets to know most everyone.
How about Oswald Wilkes?
Do you always carry 2 handkerchiefs?
3, actually. My father taught me. Always monogrammed. Always pressed.
It's a sign of a gentleman. And you can never tell when one might come back to you.
No, please keep it. You never told me your last name.
I'll see you around, Jim Prufrock.
Know how to give good gifts unto your children. How much more shall your Father which is in heaven give these things to them that ask? All things whatsoever ye would that men should do unto you, you even so to them. For this is the law of the prophets.
course.
You got a spare, don't you?
No, I don't.
Sun's hot today. Hey, you better get in. I'll have Job come back and get it.
Do you like the pictures?
Yes, I've seen them before. Your husband was kind enough to pick me up several days ago in the desert. My car had a loose hose.
As if I had a choice. Driving by would be no different than murder. That heat'll kill a man.
You know, whenever there's blood on a book, you know it's going to be scary. Now, this is a new mystery.
Oswald Wilkes. W-I-L-K-E-S.
She is so wise.
Now, where did you come by this name again?
I went to see the tattoo artist up by Satan's Ridge.
And this tattoo artist, his word's reliable.
He can identify the killer of Silas Bodnick because he put the serpent tattoo on the killer's arm. You now have a witness to the murder and a positive identification of the murderer. It is a start.
Is it now? I know this tattoo artist. Not really a central figure in the community, if you hear what I'm saying to you, but we do see a great deal of his work in here, so yeah. I am familiar with the man. Laid some ink on you, did he?
And why would you think that? Like, I don't see why it matters, but yes. Yes, he did.
Just tell me one thing, Taxman. Now, this artist, he still use peyote to cut the paint?
Peyote? Oh. Would you like some water?
No. I am fine. I'm tired, perhaps a bit feverish, and I think I'm getting an infection. Yeah, but that does not change the facts that are becoming all the more apparent with each passing minute. Silas Bodnick was murdered. Caleb Moore was murdered. And the only two people who should be doing anything about it are watching some damn morning show.
Boy, you have no idea what I watch on television.
You're watching it right now. I can see it.
Second of all, I have an eyewitness account from a known drug addict. That's you. And I have a name from one of the few miscreants we have in this here community. Now, I don't think I'm so out of line here, son.
I, too, am a public servant. And my specific job description is rather narrow. I am to investigate and report on occurrences of corporate financial malfeasance as it relates to the tax laws and codes of the United States of America. You are also a public servant. The fact that you choose not to perform your duties is now quite apparent.
Regis is on.
Jim Prufrock?
Good afternoon, Mr. Prufrock. It's Grace.
Hello, Grace.
I ran the two names you asked me to. Oswald Wilkes and Silas Bodnick.
Yes, Grace?
I couldn't find either of their 1040s.
Well, that's not all that odd. Criminals frequently don't file.
I also did something else.
Yes, Grace?
I went to the federal database and I did a 7C search on the entire town.
A 7C? Grace, that's the most exhaustive search we have, and only for the most serious issues we face. I've certainly never done one. I don't think anyone in our office has ever done one. 7Cs are for extreme situations.
I know.
Ira okay?
No.
Okay.
Do you want to know what I found out?
Yes, Grace.
No one in Push, Nevada has filed an income tax return in 17 years.
God? These are the things. Follow thou righteousness, godlessness, faith, love.
You got in the bags.
Fight for the good faith. Lay hold eternal life, whereunto thou art also called, and profess a good profession before many witnesses. I give thee charge in the sight of God, who quickened thee all things before Christ Jesus, who before Pontius Pilate witnessed a good confession. Thou that keep this commandment,
Behold,
without spot, unrebuked,
the word of the
until
Lord.
the appearing of our Lord Jesus Christ, which in his own
There is nothing in the master database that makes any reference to a Bible. Nothing. I've conducted the search using 6 different parameters. What makes you think it's of importance?
Where'd you go to school?
Yale, and then Wharton.
And how long you been with us?
About 10 months.
Oh, that's great. Could you play the Bodnik Intercept we pulled from the car?
Sure.
Hello?
Hey, it's me.
Go to the end.
It's time to go.
And our insurance policy?
He took everything I told him to. And baby, I think this book is more than insurance. It could be the mother lode.
A book that could be the mother lode. Book. Bible. Book. Bible. It's a simple connection, Wharton. And that, among other reasons, is why my socks cost more than your suit.
A glass of water, please. And I'd like to speak with Mr. Sloman.
Afraid he ain't here.
Oswald Wilkes been in?
Not much.
Know where I can find him?
Can't say that I do. You don't look so good. Maybe you should go home.
What about Mary? She here?
Works nights. We got a real pretty new girl, though. Brassy Northeastern type. You might like her.
I'm looking for Mary in particular.
Of course you are. All you heartbroken suckers come in here thinking you made some kind of friendship, some kind of special relationship, blind to the fact that it's her job.
She have a boyfriend?
Zzz. Boyfriend. Zzz. Start with Silas and work your way down.
Silas Bodnik? And Mary?
Silas, Job, some wimpy government fella from out of town. Or so I heard. Hell, she jumped up and down on half the fellas in town. I don't suppose much of them would have minded that so much as her riding on everyone else, too. Some men are just old-fashioned like that.
Not you, though.
No, not me. I remember my daddy's dying words to me, and I stick to them pretty good.
What are those?
Son, don't trust nothing that bleeds for 7 days and don't die.
Thanks for your time.
Vinegar and water, Mr. Prufrock.
No. Thank you.
I'm gonna take care of that back. Let's get that shirt off. Never had much use for tattoos. Always seemed like gilding the lily. The last thing that a woman wants to see during the conjugal act is some slogan or another woman's name bobbing up and down. Ride to live, live to ride, and whatnot.
My father would roll over in his grave.
When did he die?
1986. I was 12.
Tough age to lose a parent. You were close?
Yes and no. And he was somewhere else a lot of the time. And even when he was home, he was still somewhere else most of the time.
But he loved you.
I think so.
Lay down now.
How long have you been here?
Oh, most of my life.
Always had this place?
No, not always.
Well, what did you used to do?
We'll talk about that some other time. Try to get some sleep. Never know when one of them will come back to you.
Push Nevada will continue in a moment, here on ABC.
Jim Prufrock.
Jim, Ira Glassman. Were you sleeping?
Well, I have this infection. Yes. Yes, I have been sleeping.
Oh, because I was expecting you in the office today. Ramon at Arby's was expecting us.
I'm sorry about that, Ira. I've been under the weather.
Oh, see, I knew there was a reason. There's a mean case of the flu going around. Joe Gunter in auditing, he lost over 7 pounds, what with the diarrhea and the dehydration. He was out the better part of a week.
Being sick is not the only reason I'm here, Ira. We've discussed this. Something substantial is happening here, Ira. Something substantial and sinister. Ira, no one in Push, Nevada has filed a 1040 in over 17 years. Grace did some research.
And I've been meaning to talk to you about that, Jim. No one in the Carson City office below the title of Assistant Managing Supervisor is even allowed to access the database without my direct approval. I mean, Grace did a 7C search. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, Jim? A 7C. That rang the bells all the way up to Provo. Some say even Washington. And worse yet, she was mistaken. She performed the search incorrectly and queried the wrong database.
What database are the returns in, Ira?
Jim, I am a very patient man. But this extensive investigation in Push, Nevada has never been approved by my office. In fact, I am counting the days that you've spent. 1, 2, 3, 4 as your personal days. That means this is your last one, and then you're out. So, after your personal days, then you go to unexcused absences. And that's grounds for termination. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I understand.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Well, that's good. You buckle up on the drive home. Well, I think that should do the trick.
Taking care of that tattoo?
You heard. Yeah, I'm doing my best.
Like hell. Where are your keys?
Grace, it's me. Ira called. He wasn't happy. In fact, I think he was threatening to fire me.
He received a call from Washington.
Washington?
Yes, Washington.
That's unbelievable.
I know what I did was against procedure, but I did not do that search incorrectly.
Yeah, I didn't think you would.
Either those people haven't filed or their files have been removed. Are you okay? You sound funny.
I'm feeling a bit under the weather. Where are you?
At your house.
You're at my house?
Your ex-wife is here.
Darlene is there?
She's moving furniture.
What, you gave her the keys?
No. She got her key from the Merriweathers next door.
Okay, what are you doing there?
I thought it would be a good idea.
Is that Jimmy? Let me talk.
Hi, Jim.
Is the intervention proceeding?
Any moment now.
He made a rather drastic and, I must say, unexpected move.
At the federal level, no less. We advise you to call it off.
Could you clarify that for me, please?
He has the assassin's name. He searched most known federal databases for it.
He also reported this man's name and his identifying marks to his superiors in Carson City and local law enforcement.
For Mr. Prufrock to disappear at this very moment would be unseemly.
We need a more elegant play.
We'd also advise that the next time an assassin with a tattoo on his forearm is dispatched to execute a public murder, he wears sleeves.
Why are you at the house, Darlene?
I needed something real, Jim. I needed something to hold on to. I need you.
No, you don't. You may think you do, but you thought that before.
No, I do this time. I really do. Please come home, Jimmy. I want to be good to you.
Look, Darlene, I'll call you back. Tell Grace it's okay. She can leave.
This is Oswald. Change your plan. We need to meet.
Bad news? My wife wants me to come home.
You know, night's the best time to drive in the desert.
Because God wants us to love. He wants us to love our families, our homes, our Lord. But the love of money, of lucre, of gambling is a mortal sin. Do not be seduced by greed. Do not be swayed by the strut of high rollers. They walk the long road to perdition. They walk in the valley of doom. They have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through many sorrows.
Blackjack 4. The man in the suit. Stay with him. no way he sees it.
No way. No one's that good.
Hello, bonjour, Mr. Prufrock. So nice to see you again on Corp.
I need to speak to your boss.
Jack Stennis, middle management.
Jim Prufrock, investigative agent for the Internal Revenue Service. In the past 4
hours... Mr. Prufrock, it might be a little quieter through that door.
Right this way.
We've gone far enough. If you think it's going to stay quiet back here, you're mistaken. This evening, I spent 4 hours in your pits.
Well, I hope you found the experience entertaining.
Truthfully, I would rather have spent the evening in bed. Instead, I counted cards. I watched roulette. I studied your craps tables. I spent an hour at the cages, and I factored payouts using Bayes' theorem, quantile plots, and binomial probabilities to arrive at a conclusion which is financially incomprehensible. I mean, Mr. Stennis, your casino pays out 62% of the time.
Who knows? Who's gonna make the call?
The basic business premise of casinos is to pay out less than 50% of the time. This is why casinos are profitable. This is how they run.
Games of chance fluctuate, Mr. Prufrock. Some nights we win, some nights we lose.
No. Tonight, your payouts fluctuated between 55 and 81%. I ran the equations 4 different ways. No table ever dipped below the 50% line.
It sounds like we're just having a bad night.
It's going to get worse. Your predecessor, Silas Bodnick, was embezzling in excess of $1 million each and every quarter for the past several years. And no one seemed to mind until the other night when he was brutally murdered in front of my very eyes.
Oh, I'm sure the sheriff
is doing absolutely nothing because he is a stump dumb pawn who's either being paid off or managed, which brings me back to you, Mr. Stennis. There's something going on in this town that's very crooked, very dark, and very difficult to understand. So here's your chance. Prove to me that you have the intelligence, strength of character, and self-preservation skills to rise above this morass and tell me the truth.
You know, you've obviously had a very long day. You're tired, you're edgy. I know how that is. Maybe we could arrange it for you to come back when you feel better and have a go at the tables with some house chips. Say, 5 large to start?
Very disappointed, Mr. Stennis. It's clearly time for me to go home. My job is in jeopardy. My marriage is in a precarious position.
Well, going home now seems like a very good idea then.
That's because you have the misconception that you're getting off scot-free. Am I going home? Yes. Has the Versailles seen the last of me? That is an unequivocal no. I'm filing a full report with the IRS, the Nevada Gaming Commission, and the Department of Justice. I can assure you, Mr. Stennis, that when I return, I will bring my own law enforcement, my own investigators, my own accountants. Mr. Stennis, you tell whoever it is that you work for that I'm going to take this town apart, number by number, ledger by ledger, brick by brick. Good evening, Mr. Stennis.
Shall your Father, which is and in heaven give good things to them that ask him. Therefore all things whatsoever ye would that men should do unto you, you even so to them. For this is the law.
Good evening. Could I borrow one of your shovels?
What for?
It's government business. Okay.
Check on Caleb.
Hay ciertas tribus de aborígenes que creen que nosotros estamos conscientes en nuestros cuerpos cuando nos morimos. Atrapados en nuestras carnes podridas, sin poder hablar o movernos, condenados a sentir que los gusanos se comen nuestras entrañas.
O quemados en el calor de la hoguera. La respuesta es naranja.
Of course, now we're gonna need our shovels. Hey!
Embezzling in excess of $1 million.
He's going to take it from me and take it from her. So I give it to him. He says it weren't illegal, nothing, because you can't steal from yourself.
Was embezzling in excess of $1 million.
Because I want you to, Shadrach. That's why.
But it's dangerous to leave an end flat.
You just go out.
Hello, Tex man. Find something? Hear you've been stealing shovels. Well, I figure since we're already all the way out of here, maybe you ought to show us what you've been looking for. Go on, son. Finish your job.
Well, looks like you finally found your Oswald Wales. Goodness, I haven't heard a scream like that since Cujo locked on to Mr. Trenton's privates. You have been running quite the fever there, Jimbo. Serves you right for getting such a wicked tattoo. Now, before you say a word, you should know that anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him with you when you are being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, then one will be appointed to represent you before any questions. You may also waive your right to counsel and your right to remain silent and answer any question or make any statement that you wish. And if you do decide to answer questions, you may stop answering questions at any time to consult with an attorney. Now, you understand what I just told you?
What am I being charged with?
Why, murder, of course.
Murder?
And now, the sheriff's beginning to wonder about Silas and Caleb, too.
No. I was in the desert following a map.
On the hanky with your initials?
No, somebody put it in my car. No, I was digging. I was trying to find.
What?
I think money.
Well, now that is just silly, Jimbo. If there were any money, where did it come from? And more important, where is it now?
Thou that keep this commandment without spot, unrebukable, until appearing of our Lord Jesus Christ, which in his time he shall show who is blessed, and the only potentate, and the King of kings, and the Lord of lords, who hath immortality dwelling in the light, which no man can approach unto, whom no man hath seen, nor can see, and be honored with power everlasting. Amen.
Next on Push Nevada. Grace, I don't know who I can trust anymore except for you. This tape's been doctored.
We need another alibi. You know what they do to taxmen in the pen, Prufrock?
I own this town, and right now I own you, you little...
I want the truth. Who are you?